AmeriGuard is a nationwide private security contractor. The core business is armed and unarmed security officers, vehicle patrols, as well as alarm response time with arresting capabilities. The company also installs burglar alarms and camera systems and has background checks and live scan fingerprinting. And with me is CEO Lawrence Garcia, also Mike Goosen, the Chief Financial Officer, and Doug Anderson, CEO of Wall Street Capital. So Lawrence, let's start with you and just talk about just give me an overall view of the company, and then let's talk about the security industry in general. So,
sure.
The company.
AmeriGuard Security has been in business for since 2000, so 22 years. We're out of Fresno, California, but we are a nationwide business that has contracts in 8 states. Our primary contracts are with the federal government and military bases. So we guard the bases, but we also do residential and commercial type of security for installing alarms, cameras, home automation type of stuff. But also we have the patrol service and the alarm response for not only a residential alarm going off, but also a commercial building or a business that has the alarm system go off. We would come and respond to that alarm system. In our area, we have a very fast response time. We're around 7-minute response time within the cities that we operate.
Okay.
And we normally beat local law enforcement to the location before they get there.
Now, when I saw your website, I saw all of the government contracts that you have. I mean, I thought, well, that's pretty impressive that the government has chosen you to protect their facilities. So.
Yeah, what happened was early in the 80s, the military had less people to do the things that they needed to do, so they would sub out different types of work for the different facilities, such as, in the cafeteria or the base maintenance type of stuff. Well, security was one of those categories that they gave to private contractors that can allow them to keep their military people doing what military people do.
Interesting. So, Mike, you're the Chief Financial Officer. How have you seen this industry change over your time in that office?
Well, I think the industry is changing in a lot of different ways because of the the fractionation of all the different companies, different needs and services, and so far as that's concerned. As far as where our lane, our niche in the government contracting and large businesses allows us opportunity to take our efficiencies and our approach to things, which has been very successful. Lawrence started that part of it just a few years back, and so being able to grow that area and make some inroads there has been what we've been doing, and doing rather well.
Yeah, and has technology played a role in how security is implemented?
Oh, well, sure. Technology is playing a role in everything we're doing these days, right? And, the advancements in just how cameras work and how they, bring information into the system and allow us to respond has been very significant. Probably in the last 5 years, I would think, right, Lawrence?
Yeah.
That's how it's changed.
Well, and camera systems, alarm systems, that used to be out of reach for most people, just because of the pricing of it now. But it's now such a necessity throughout everybody's day-to-day, whether it's your residential or commercial setting. These systems are more affordable now, and you can put those, what I call secure conveniences, in your home, in your office. You can view them from your phone, from your computer, that type of stuff.
Yeah, well, that was one thing I wanted to ask you about, was that when you think security system, you're like, oh my gosh, this sounds really expensive and a monthly fee and all that, but it sounds like you're able to bring it to be more affordable.
It is, and being able to see when your children get home, that door opens at 3 o'clock, you get a notification, you can look right on your phone or look on your computer. But also the ability to actually turn off and respond if necessary. You can, law enforcement can be hours before they'll attend some of these issues, but with our ability, you can go right to it.
You'll go right to it. Interesting. Okay, so Doug, tell me about your involvement with the company and why you thought this was a good company to get involved with.
AmeriGuard is a perfect example of investments aren't always, I just invented the levitation device or something. Sometimes they're just solid, good companies that grow, that are well run, that encounter obstacles like everybody does, but they overcome them, and they find more ways to expand their market. And in AmeriGuard's case, they're a perfect example of that kind of company. And so they are primed for growth. And the reason why is because they can handle acquisitions. Right now we're looking at a fragmented market, and so AmeriGuard's the type of company that can take advantage of situations like that, and they are. We have some acquisition targets in sight now, and they're also looking at going public, and so we see that happening, and we'll probably be back soon to tell you that we've met those benchmarks.
Yeah, and I feel like it's part of a macro trend as well, because we are seeing crime go up just about everywhere. So that's another, the security systems are more in demand. Are you seeing that as well?
Oh, 100%. You know, but again, we do more than security alarms and cameras. Again, we are guarding some of our nation's most military assets, you know, nuclear warships in San Diego, military establishments on both coasts, and we're very proud of the men and women that work for us and allow us to provide that service to those types of clients.
Yeah, good point. I mean, what does it take to protect a nuclear ship?
Well, the officers are armed, bulletproof vests, fully trained. These officers have CPR, first aid. They have extensive shooting course they have to go through, background investigations on these people. I mean, you can't just have anybody guarding some of these things that we guard, and I'm very proud of our people that do.
Absolutely. So, okay, so Mike, share a little bit about where the company may be going. What are some things you're looking forward in the near and long term?
Well, I think you might be in regard to how we're going to return our investment, how we're going to make extra money, how is it working? So the way it's looking is there's like two avenues of successful growth for us. One is to exploit and continue down the path of our our governmental activities. We have inroads there. There's a lot of companies that are a little bit smaller than us or in the same ballpark, and we can start competing better with that and moving and grow that and take the advantage of what we have. So to give you an example how it works, so like right now we're operating at a G&A expense level that is pretty constant. But we could double our revenues and not change that very much. And so then that revenue increase, the margins that generate from that go right to the bottom line, as opposed to we generate a much bigger return on investment. The other side of the puzzle, the other lane, is acquisitions. A lot of related industries, related or adjacent businesses that kind of funnel in with us. We're looking to see if we can begin to acquire some of those. And we have, like Doug was saying, we do have a couple that are right in our sights right now, and that could happen as early as 3 or 4 months from now, where we can start doing that.
Yeah.
And that would be I just said, it'll bring some more revenue, but our overhead stays the same and profits come.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, and then the sky's the limits at that point. We can start looking at to go from our current $23 million annual revenues to 50, then to 100, all through those two lanes.
Okay. And Doug, any final thoughts?
I think just to emphasize what Mike's said, it's a well-run company where you could really expand this thing. I mean, you look in the past, like Tyco, for example. When did it grow? It grew when the economy was nearing recession. Inflation was a concern. I mean, does it sound familiar? And in their case, I mean, they expanded to telecommunications companies, security companies, transportation companies, all kinds. I mean, they went from like 40 million to 500 billion. I mean, there was huge expansion.
Yeah.
Well, let me add one more thing too. It's not only what we're doing now. We're growing the team. We're putting a board together. I'm very proud to talk about the board that we're putting together. We just got an agreement with General Honore to join our board. He's a 3-star general. We have other big names coming on board. We're really making some inroads with people that see the future here. They see there's an opportunity here to be part of something bigger than what we even thought it could be.
Yeah.
And really exciting.
A guy named Douglas Anderson on our board. I guess you're not going to mention that.
Douglas Anderson is also on our board.
That was a given, I thought. I don't know.
I thought you knew.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you so much, and best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.